Hello, everybody, and welcome to TOFFEE BLUECAST. The result was Everton 0, Man City 3. Disappointed, but we will have a BLUECAST get together now. I've got Paul with me. I feel like we need these BLUECAST meetings more than ever, more than we've ever needed them, and it feels good to have them because I actually think, yes, get Paul on, get me lifted back up. How are you feeling, mate?
I'm all right. I'm okay, actually. I took yesterday seriously, but we were up against. I just wanted us to put in a decent performance and everyone to be fit and ready going in the last two games. So I think we did that. To be honest, I think the score, you could say, score flattered City in some ways. Stats certainly show that we put in a good shift. Some really good performances defensively, certainly. So there's positive to take from it.
Yeah, there is positives. I agree. What we're going to do on this channel, to people that are new on, we have a structure. We do this really professional. We put a lot of effort in to make it a good watch for you. So what we do is we go through the game. We have to. We'll go through the game. We'll look at the goals. We'll look at what we thought went well, what we thought went wrong. And then after this one, because it's towards the end, we're going to look at all the teams at the bottom's fixtures. And we're also going to look at the league table. So we're going to have a quick all-rounder tonight. But it should be a good get-together. And you in the comments, join in. Put your stuff in the comments. We'll put it on the screen. And we'll interact with you all the way through. That's how we do it. We want more toffees on. So if you're new, stay on with us because we'll make it interesting for you, we promise. And you'll probably enjoy the get-together on this BLUECAST. We're new and we're loving it. Right, so let's get into this game then. So I've got some stuff to put on the screen as always, but just going to give a few shout-outs here. Paul Caswell, stick with us. No, I love just hearing you, mate. Brightens my day up hearing Paul Caswell getting involved. Mr. Jones is here. Paul is here. New regular all the time. I love it. Everyone's here. Get involved. Starting the game, I thought we started really solid. How me and you said it would go. We'd be very compact in the middle, force them out wide, and I thought we frustrated Man City at the start.
Yeah, I mean, I think we said in the pre-match about their lineup. It was going to be interesting what they would do. They'd played a
good point. At the back, what did you think of the lineup?
Well, I was
fuming.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, because I kind of hoped City would maybe do what they did against Fulham and Leeds, play three at the back, leave some spaces open for us to maybe counter-attack in, but they never. So I'd take it as a bit of a compliment in a way. They went four at the back. Walker was their best player in many parts of the game, to be honest, apart from Gundogan, obviously. So yeah, it was a little bit gut wrenching to see the lineup and see that they only rested De Bruyne. They played everyone else. So take it as a compliment. But I thought we started the game well. We had our setup, we had our structure. We tried to break as soon as we won the ball, and you'll see in the stats, like Paul Caswell said on there as well. Some things we were certainly better at. They were just very clinical, as Paul says.
Yeah, completely right. Now I'm going to drop some stuff on. Let's hit the game now. We'll go through it fast, people. We won't dwell on it too much because I feel like it's something we've got to move on from. But we do go through it because we like to look in detail what went right and wrong. We have to. It's part of the channel. So I'll chuck on the screen now. Do you know what the first thing is I'm going to put up? It's not the goal.
Is it Mason Holgate at the far?
Yeah, it looks like I've got it in for him, but I've got to show it because even Sean Dyche kept mentioning it. Here we go.
Yeah, I can understand why he missed, if you like. I thought we set up well at corners. I thought we were really. I thought we were menacing, to be honest. I always thought that we would have a good chance of getting the first header. It's what we do with the. It's what we do with the second touch. So Tarks is really good at winning that first header, and then it's what people do around him. And it came up awkward. It's one of them where he either goes for the touch or he has to let it come back down to try and keep the ball in play. And he's gone to try and naturally just go for the touch, but it's in such an awkward position. It's like almost above waist height, and his body position isn't right when it comes to him. So it's an awkward one that makes you look a bit daft.
It's not onto it though, is it? That's one thing. When it comes to him, it looks like it's really awkward and in a hard position. But I do feel that if he's onto it, he can just knock it in the back of the net. He's kind of just waited for it to come to him and hit it awkwardly at the very last minute. Where if you've gone into that, we see those sliding back posts all the time where players slide it in and go into the post, making sure they get it in. I don't feel like Holgate had that about him where he was just going to die for the cause to get it in the back of the net, because you could see Tarkowski was going to head it back across. And I've watched it a couple of times. You could see what was going to happen. I would like to have Holgate to have read it better and put himself in a better position to have knocked it in instead of just stuck in the mud, feet on the spot, and hitting it really awkward at the end. That was my presumption on that.
Just slow to react. You know?
Yeah,
maybe if you have a striker in that position, then they do better. The natural instinct is about getting towards the ball to actually put the ball in the net. So I don't know. I feel a little bit sorry for him in some way.
He got his back on that one. The blue says, why did he wait for the bounce up? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. He's just slow on the reactive thing. And there's another part later on that I'll point out is slow. I was behind him. I said before this, I'm behind him. But I just feel like these big moments against a team like Man City, when you've defended really well, by the way, this is 35 minutes in. We're still at 0-0.
Yeah.
We started the game fantastic. I feel like Man City have got no way to score. I'm comfortable with what they're doing. They're having to go on the wings now to put crosses in because they can't break us down through the middle. And I think our game plan was fantastic. Mina looked solid. Tarkowski looked solid. And the middle looked very compact and strong. Yeah. And I wasn't worried at this point, on 35th minute when Holgate's had a shot. I was actually thinking, we can go 1-0 here. Calvert-Lewin looked sharp. And I thought we can go 1-0 and hold the 1-0 out. That was the game plan for me in my head at this moment in time.
Yeah, it was. You can tell if at that moment, it's one of those, we take a chance, we're 1-up, they go down the other end. And
well, let's just get rid of that. That's what
suddenly they're 2-up.
35 minutes, so when their goal is coming by what you've just said. But yeah, 30. This is typical Everton, though. We show that we can score a goal and switch off. I mean, that was 35. This is 2 minutes later, and I don't like this sometimes. I think we switch off when we feel like we're doing well. I mean, we attack well. We look like we can score, and we start to think, we can switch off at the back. Now, this is going to be an interesting one to talk through. Tell us what you think in the comments. We'll try and put them on, but we are talking through these as well. What you think of the goals. This is the 37 minutes in, the first goal after Holgate just missed that one.
Yeah. I mean, if you sort of look at the setup when Mahrez comes back in on his left foot, that top left picture, we're not in a bad position. The threat really was.
What do you mean you say, Paul? What did we say? Do not let Mahrez turn in on his left foot.
That's the one. I mean, he was quick when he was doing it. It wasn't as if anyone's been lazy or not put the effort in. I thought we defended full back positions quite well, to be honest. I think it's just the bit of class that both of their wingers had, because Foden, I thought, had a really good half. Made it hard for Patterson. I still thought Patterson played well, to be honest, but Foden, a couple of times, that burst of speed that he's got, keeps the ball close to his feet, gets to the line, crosses it in. Mahrez is the opposite. I know he did once, potentially twice, get to the line, but it was obviously on his weaker foot and we defended it. This is his prime position. But even at that point, when you've got that cross coming in, we've still got enough people there to deal with it. But it was such a good cross. It went right into Gundogan. It didn't sort of float and anything else. It just went straight into him, and his first touch was excellent, annoyingly.
We've got a comment here. I'll just read this one out. I'm going to keep trying popping your comments on, so keep commenting, people, because we want to get you involved with us on the talk. So Holgate was poor, but exactly what you just said, Paul. So there you go. Agrees with you. I felt sorry for him. He said
I presume Mykolenko was injured because he wasn't even on the bench,
he was injured. Something tight in training. 20 minutes before the training session ended, he pulled up, and Dyche said I had 20 minutes to sort stuff out for the no, not 20 minutes. He said Dyche said I had 20 minutes at the end of a training session to change the whole thing around, because if you knew Mykolenko was going to be injured, you would have spent a whole training session working on Holgate to play left back. But Mykolenko pulls up at the end of the training session. Now, we talk about luck. Obviously, this is where Everton are getting a bit of bad luck, and you've got to ride with it and don't let it overpower you, because I also feel that this, do you know where we said at the start of the game, you need some luck to go with you in the game? You need that bit of luck. I feel like this goal was pure bad luck. I do believe that you could give Gundogan that pass 10 times and he'd only do it this one time and get it wrong 9 times. What he did here was phenomenal, but everything went his way to get it. Like, Patterson moved over out of position. He kind of controlled it. He said he slipped out of position and had to take it that way. And it's just bad luck. And sometimes when your luck's going like that and they score a goal like that, all we can do as Everton fans is say, what a goal. We can't really do much about that. I really don't think we can.
No, I mean, if you see what Patterson does, he stays on Gundogan's left-hand side so that Gundogan can't turn and hit it with his right foot in that natural position. You know, he's making sure that Gundogan can't get a clean strike in that body position that most people would normally do. And what Gundogan's done is just improvised. And I was surprised.
World-class players.
I was actually surprised at the power that he got on that flick. The direction.
It was like a volley, wasn't it? With the power he got. And I thought it would just be a little chipper where Pickford could get on it because it's a slow reader, but it wasn't. He got a lot of power on it. The Blues
was
just
far in the corner as well, wasn't it?
It was. That's what I say. Everything was just lucky. Not lucky because he obviously meant it, but it's just not something that would go that well for you trying it over and over again. The Blues just said we all knew Morris would cut him, but you can't stop it sometimes. It's right. We have got 3 players there. I would like us to be a bit tighter to him, but
yeah, a little bit. I mean, but you can see the setup there of our 3 lads that are nearest to the ball. You've got was it McNeil who was closest to Mahrez? So you've got him watching that. You've got Holgate must be the one just behind McNeil who is watching, I presume, Walker, possibly making an outside run there, or whoever it is. And then whoever's on the edge of the area on that line is watching the City player for the pullback. So we've all got our men, we've all got our positions, and we're fairly tight. But Mahrez, like people have said on it just needs a quick touch off to the side and a quick whip in. It doesn't need a lot of time to be able to do that. So
no, I completely agree. It was just frustrating me because you just need luck to go your way, and you'd hope that Holgate scored that by some sort of luck. You don't want to go 1-0 against Man City. It was never the plan, was it? It was to keep it tight and get the first goal. And for them to get a goal like that, I mean, if we made a mistake, I could grill us, but there's not that much of a mistake there, other than Patterson giving him a bit of space to do that, but you just wouldn't expect him to do that. So we're on 1-0 there. Now, when you go 1-0 down, you can't crumble. It's something we haven't been doing and we've managed to fix. It's what we did last season, all season, is once the ice cracked, we fell in. Do you know what I mean? We started moving and that's what happens. But here, I'll get it on the screen now. It's 37 minutes we're on there. And I'm just wanting to go in 1-0 at half time because I'm a bit worried here. Because I know we look down, especially when you're at home, they feel it even more because they're scared. And I know we're in trouble there. And then 39 minutes. This is frustrating again. I did say that they went and forced the ball out wide because they couldn't do us in the middle. Probably a tactic you wouldn't have expected from them.
Yeah.
It wasn't so good in the air.
The first one, they'd had the ball around the area. Do you know what I mean? They kept it. And then Mahrez did what he did. And
Jamie's here. Late again.
They took their chance. So Gundogan took his chance when they got it. This one is almost like we've gone straight away to attack, lost the ball in their half, and then they've kind of broke on us a little bit. And there wasn't very much that we did wrong. apart from not being able to contain Foden on the left-hand side. The cross comes in. Tarkowski's, I mean, you could sort of say Tarkowski was too far away from Haaland, but also as well, you wouldn't want Haaland sort of coming across you. So he's given himself that yard to make sure that doesn't happen. But the cross is so good that Haaland just has an easy
I've
header.
highlighted the top picture there, Paul, and I know I'm a bit brutal on them sometimes, but I just don't like crosses getting in from the wings. And we did stop a couple. I think it was Garner Gay stopped one where he slid and stopped it. And then he went over to Mina, and Mina said, yes, come on, stop the crosses. And I just, it's like, I think stopping crosses has got to be done. And I just look at that top left picture. You can't be putting crosses in that free. Not players like that, like Man City have got. You can't let them, with Haaland in the box, put a cross in that free. Yeah. It just frustrates me to do that. I think you've got to be sliding in or make the cross a bad angle when they put it in to make the cross even harder. You don't give them a free ride. And I don't like that Iwobi and Patterson are there, but they're not close enough for me. Now, like I say,
they've let them get round the back, haven't they?
Yeah, they have let them get round the back. And I feel if you do that, it's an easy ball. I mean, that's 2-3 for me looking at that top left picture. And obviously he crossed it in. I am the Holgate hater because he's got to put more of a challenge in there. I know Haaland's going to win it very lightly, but you've got to put more of it. That's the most body contact that Holgate, when I watched it all the way through, put into Haaland on that. You don't get free kicks against you if you're defender, if you just jump with them. And that, for me, I've said a lot, Holgate is poor in the air. That, for me, in a game where we're fighting to stay up 1-0 down, isn't good enough for me. I don't, especially when you've missed a chance at the start. I mean, the Blues makes a good point. He says as soon as Holgate missed that chance, they come out as all guns blazing. Look, I don't think we crumbled. I just think that they missed the chance.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they stepped it up. And you're probably right, the Blues, you probably are. But I'm frustrated with that goal. That's one that I was frustrated with.
I'd also say Holgate has got Mahrez. You can't quite see it in the pictures. Actually, you can see 20 odd there, Mahrez sort of at the end.
It was a poor header as well.
And McNeil's run back to try and help Holgate by covering Mahrez, but Holgate's maybe just going to make a decision a little bit quicker to stop the immediate danger, and that was Haaland. I'm not saying that Holgate would have stopped him anyway, even if he was stood right next to him. But
no, but just at least make it a bit harder for him, because the header wasn't that good from Haaland anyway. It kind of went down the middle.
It did. I think Pickford's
well, we've seen Pickford get grief for this, haven't we?
Yeah, I know, but just because he's actually got his hand to it, do you know what I mean? And where it is, it makes it look as though Pickford should have saved it, but Pickford's just gone, 6-7 yards across the goal to actually get in the position.
People are on Pickford's back. You would have seen it everywhere. I've seen it bits and bobs already. It comes up with my Twitter's banned, but it still comes up with a bit of feed. But I'm not allowed to write message or do anything, but it comes up with feed. So I still see bits of feed, and I've seen Pickford's got absolutely grilled. Roy Keane, I've seen him come out and say he's just not big enough and stuff, even though Neville Southall, even though I've seen Elton message, Neville Southall was exactly the same height as him, and he's the best goalkeeper we've ever known. But yet Pickford's too small. And I just think Pickford gets some grief here because, like you've just said, I think no matter what size the goalkeeper is there, with how close Haaland is to that goal, they're going to look small if they don't get the ball. Yeah, and I just think Pickford, it's just bad position, and Pickford gets grilled. Pickford just go the wrong way.
What I'd say as well, though, is if you've got the ball going across that way, and then you've got arguably the world's greatest striker at the moment, ready to head a ball, you don't think he would head it in the middle of the goal, do you?
No.
He's going to head it in the corner, isn't he?
Yeah. So that's what Pickford's done. You're right.
I would have thought, and I think Pickford looking the same, is that he's going to try and head it as far away from Pickford as he possibly can. Now, whether Haaland meant to do this and go back across, he may well have done. But Pickford's just trying to do what he thinks Haaland is going to do in that split second. So the stuff about Pickford is nonsense anyway, to be fair. He actually had a decent game with very little to do, which sounds daft, but it wasn't. He didn't have a game like the Brighton game, second half, where he had to make a ton of saves. And in fact, that stat-wise, and someone mentioned it before we showed it on the screen, was that in that first half, the expected goals, we had 0.95. City had 0.4. They actually had 6 shots, 3 on target, 3 off. We had 2 attempts that were both off target, and we were still more likely to score based on those shots, which sounds daft.
No, I generally, there was,
you know,
I forgot to mention these, and it was before. And there was 2. They keep commenting as well, people. I'm trying to put them up as much as I can, but we'll try to make it a good listen for you as well. We will keep putting them up. Stay with us and keep putting them up. I think there was a chance. I can't remember it exactly, but Doucouré was running and he was almost through. We played the ball through, and Walker would come across as a right back and stop Doucouré. And Doucouré was so close to being in, and Walker's speed stopped him. And I thought, oh my God, that could have got us 1-0. And then there was another scenario where Calvert-Lewin was running, and Calvert-Lewin was nearly through, and Walker again with his speed saved their ass. There was 2 situations where Doucouré and Calvert-Lewin could have been in, but the class of Walker, who by the way is probably the best right back in the world, and I think, even though he's old, I still think he is. They say he's the only one that can stop Mbappe, and I do feel that having that right back, because Walker saved them a couple of times and those goals, and that's sort of look that you want, because we might have got that goal if it wasn't for Walker saving their ass. And this is what the best team in the world does, isn't it? It stops them. But I do feel Walker stopped us twice. I really do.
He did, and so you could tell actually because of the second
yeah,
time.
That's true, look.
The second time he smashed the ball behind for a corner kick because he knew that the rest of his defence weren't pulling their weight. I think Walker's brilliant as well. It's just a shame that
he saved them. Blues has just said it there. He's a one-man defence. He literally was. He saved the ass. And if he didn't play, it frustrated me because he was one I didn't want on the list. Pickford's been good all season. The Jones has just said. There we go. Put his comments up. Keep comments coming in. Previous seasons. Yeah, I have got one more now. Now, this is going to be interesting on this one. By the way, Pickford was fantastic last game, but we will still look at the goals because we have to. And I think that goal, like we've just said on the channel, if Pickford, like Paul's just said, and Jamie, if Pickford goes to his left, like he's done, because you wouldn't expect Haaland to scuff it and hit it down the middle. If he goes to his left and pulls off that world-class save, we'd all say he was amazing for going down to his left and saving it and reading it. But he's took the risk on doing that, and Haaland's missed it and gone down the middle, and Pickford's off balance and can't save it for me. And that's literally what's happened. It happens with goalkeepers. You've got to take a risk on a side. You're either a hero or you look like a clown. And it didn't work for him on that one, did it? But he's still class.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the Blues actually just sent it up before I just say, just going back to Walker a second. When we were saying in the pre-match about we hoped that City would come at us with what they did against Fulham and Leeds and play 3 at the back, Walker might not have been in that starting lineup if that had been the case. But because Pep has done that 4 against us, like he's done against some better sides, Walker's been actually playing and has been the difference between us actually scoring in the first half, I think. Of Mason Holgate's chance aside, he's been the reason why we've not had more opportunities on goal.
Against Brighton, those chances that we had with Doucouré and Calvert-Lewin would have been a goal. But because you're against Man City and they've got Walker, I do believe he stopped us. We started the game exactly how we wanted to start it. We didn't concede for 35 minutes. And we looked like getting 1 or 2 goals against a team like Man City. Calvert-Lewin looked sharp. But I think there's loads of positives from this first half. Yeah. And that is the first half. We're at 2-0 now. We've gone in 2-0. We're all a bit frustrated because we want to go in 1-0. I was a bit frustrated in my head saying, at least go in 1-0 and give yourself a chance of getting back in for the draw, because in this relegation battle, I wouldn't mind a draw in that game. But 2-0 is a big comeback into half-time. What are you thinking half-time? And people in the comments, what are you thinking as well? At half-time.
The thing about half-time is then damage limitation, but you kind of half think, you always do, don't you, is that if we can get the next goal, then you feel like we could get something from the game. I think as soon as I saw as soon as I saw Mopay coming on for Calvert-Lewin, I thought that's not going to happen. You know. And I really, really try not to put any players down. And Mopay and another side might do really well, but unfortunately, with us, he offers us zero. I watched him. I intently actually watched Mopay just for about 2 or 3 minutes in the first kind of 5 or 10 minutes of the second half, and I just watched him and what he was doing. And I don't think he didn't touch the ball once. He literally just ran around in the short area, and anytime the ball came forward, he wasn't quick enough to close City down, who would then just easily keep possession. I'm not expecting him to be amazing against City, but I am expecting him to be in the right positions and to get at least one touch on the ball. I think there was a couple of times the ball, when we were under the cosh a little bit, we kind of just played it down into the channels. I think McNeil did it. Someone did it one time, and McNeil had been back defending. Mopay wasn't anywhere near that left channel. You know, the play was on our left hand side as well. So that when that was played, you would expect Mopay to kind of be over that way to maybe try and affect the game. And there was one down the right hand side as well, and he just wasn't anywhere near it. And I think in another side, he could work really well. He could score a few goals for a team that's going to have lots of possession around the area, maybe. But he's not.
Some people said, Paul Castles just said he would have preferred Sims to come on. Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
So he's
frustrating.
The thing, I just think he's a striker that's got to play with a centre forward. I think if you're going to bring Mopay on, you bring him on as a 4-4-2, and you bring him on with a centre forward when you need to get a goal as two strikers. I really don't believe you can play him as a centre forward. Now, the way we played first half, I thought Calvert-Lewin was fantastic. He ran the channels and he out-sprinted Man City. Yep. Well, he was on par with the speed of some of them anyway. And he holded the ball up well. And Calvert-Lewin looked, for me, fantastic first half. And he was a big part of us playing well and getting us out and getting us up there. And I feel like as soon as you bring Mopay on, you just haven't got that. And there's nothing on Mopay, by the way, because he's got no chance on being what Calvert-Lewin is. He's a different size. He's got different strengths and weaknesses. And I feel Mopay's just a poacher in the box. He's not a centre forward to do what we need him to do. So I would have preferred Sims to come on as well on that. But I am happy. I mean, I got straight away out. I found out what happened. I got Dyche ring me at half time and say, "What shall I do?" And I go, "Dyche, don't risk Calvert-Lewin. Dyche, don't do it." And he said, "Are you sure?" And I goes, "Don't risk it. We've got two bigger games than this. We're 2-0 down. Get him off ASAP," because Calvert-Lewin said he's felt tight muscle. But Calvert-Lewin still wanted to play. He said, "I want to play." People can't slate him because he's hungry to keep us up. And he still wanted to play. But Dyche knows best, and I respect Dyche for doing that because it could have made it worse and we'd all be gutted. So I was happy that he come off half-time. But I did feel like the game was gone as soon as that was made. As soon as that decision was made.
And the thing is, like, stat-wise as well.
Still wanted to win, by the way, but it just felt like it was harder.
I mean, our expected goals went from, I'd say it was very similar, because we were 0.8, which is still low in terms of expected goals, but City was 0.3, which is, again, ridiculous in the fact that they actually had 3 attempts in the second half. Possession was 48-52. As opposed to 70, 72,
I was really happy with this first half we talk about. And this is a good comment as well. Sometimes I come off the channel and think, I forgot to say something. This is what I was thinking as well. McNeil, once again, he's fantastic. And I do feel like McNeil was hindered because he had to help Mason Holgate so much. And Dyche said that he told McNeil to work on helping Holgate out. And a lot of the game plan was to help Holgate out. Can't do that against a team like Man City. Can't be carrying passengers against a team like Man City. You're going to pay for it. And I feel like what McNeil would normally offer going forward, you're only going to get 50% of that because he's often covering Holgate. And I generally do feel he did a fantastic job at doing that. But you're asking McNeil to do too much to play left back that much and ask him to be a creator and goal scorer. And I feel that hindered his game. But that's a cracking comment, that is. Keep your comments coming. I like that one.
I mean, if that's happening against City, you kind of understand it in some ways. If it was happening every week, I mean, you might have been in this situation as well, Dan, being a lefty like me. But I played left midfield for my side when I was younger, and just basically spent all my time covering left back because the guy who's playing left back just wasn't mobile enough or whatever, and so it can take away from your game. If it happened in other games, I'd be more annoyed about it. But if with the City game, I'd hope that McNeil was coming back to try and cover that inside.
They always do it, like especially Sunday League when I used to play. When I moved on from high standard to Sunday League football, they always, if you're good left wing, if you can go up and down, they always put someone crap left back and you have to cover them. You're right, they do that. And you just got some frigging your mate that you feel sorry for playing left back and you've got to frigging cover him all the time. And you like him as well. He's a proper good guy and he's a nice guy, but he's just not fast enough or good enough. And you have to play both positions. You made me laugh then because I've had a deja vu of that happening to me.
My favourite season was when we won the league and we played 3-5-2. So I was left wing back, so I was expected to do both.
I'm glad they didn't do formations like that when I played. My standard couldn't have been that good. There was just one formation. I think it was 4-5-1 striker. That's what it always was for us. Not freaking much different. Pretty simple, to be fair. Run it. I don't think there's no point of doing formations when I played. I think it's everyone run everywhere and see what happens. So those were the days.
McNeil was good though. Like Josie's just said there, he's solid.
I love him. I'm starting to fall in love with him.
He's come on so much, isn't he, from last season?
Well, this is the thing now. When I seen someone say on me banned Twitter that I'm only allowed to read what people put or not put out. I seen someone say someone dig into James Garner, and someone said James Garner's absolutely awful. He's like a Gomez. No. And I thought to myself, are you being for real? And it brought something back of us all getting on to McNeil, saying he was the worst signing ever for 15 million. And he's a crap player. He's not fast. He doesn't get up and down. He's lazy. And look at what he is now. We can't get onto players' backs. James Garner is a young player. And I thought he played good against Man City. I can't see what this person's seen. Don't jump on players' backs just because of the situation we're in. No. Don't do that. Because it's the board and it's the owner's fault for the situation we're in. It is our team is weak because of them. It's not freaking James Garner's fault, who's come in and who's a future player and he's going to grow and do very well. I just don't like jumping on. I do slate players. I call them out for the mistakes, but I won't stay on them like some people do and have a grudge against them, especially a young player like James Garner.
No, well, like Ball says there, that's a very small minority. Actually, when we were talking in the pre-match and our lineups, myself and I think Paul, I might have mentioned it as well, is that we thought maybe about
everyone loves McNeil. Go on, carry on, sorry.
We're thinking about Onana coming in. I thought James Garner had obviously been doing all right. I just thought a bit of physicality in the middle of the pitch would have been all right. But actually, James Garner, I thought, did very well.
Yeah, he did. Well, let's just put this goal in because I want to talk about Onana a little bit as well now. You've got me into that as well. And people in the comments, I love your comments, by the way. The channel is getting better and better. Your comments, you're flowing nicely and we can interact with them nice and it's making the channel to keep them coming. And if we miss them, we're sorry, but we will get on to the next ones. Right. This goal, come out second half. If you let another in, you're good. You try to get back 2-1, but if you let one in, do you think Pickford could have saved this? Do you think he's too far right in that left picture?
No, I think the wall's set up well. I think Pickford's in a good position. He's not too far over. I mean, he's only one step off the middle. I think the key here is you can't quite see him actually just in the cutout, but Mahrez is stood next to Gundogan, ready to take the kick. And
do you think our wall's too far away there? Because it just seemed like, do you know where you normally think it's hard to get up and down from that angle? Yeah. It just seemed so easy for Gundogan to get it up and down. It didn't even seem close to our wall's head. You normally see it skim the head. It didn't even skim the head, and it wasn't even top corner. Now, I'm just thinking, was our wall too far back then?
I presume, well, you've got a line in front.
I'll count it on meters.
They must have a line in front of them. Do you know what I mean? Also, as well, City have got two players stood in the gap slightly to...
it's clever, isn't it?
Yeah. Slightly in the gap where Pickford would be looking. So he's got our wall. He's also got the 2 players. That's why they stand there. They obviously move. That the idea is that, oh, right, they're going to move out of the way. The shot's going to come through there. So he might well be thinking, Pickford, that Mahrez is going to hit it with his left foot, and he's going to go for that side that Pickford is on. Pickford's already there. You've also got, I know some people might be thinking about Patterson sort of being off the wall a little bit. I think the idea of that is he drops onto the post if Pickford calls him.
I don't think I think in my head there was a player on the left, and I ain't got him in the picture there.
Was there?
I think there's someone that's just stayed left so they can play it down the left flank. Because one thing I will say, Paul, is that Man City on the corners all game from the very start and free kicks was very clever.
Yeah,
the corners were short, but we couldn't handle it. Like, they were short in very good ways, and they got into our box so quick from corners. It's something that Man City must have practiced on. They prepped really well for this game, and I feel like Man City, by the way, they played the best team, and they was fantastic. This was not an easy game, and I do think we played well even though the scoreline was 3-0 at this point. I do feel we played well. Man City was just this goal's fantastic. The first goal's fantastic, and the other one was maybe a mistake, but still pretty good.
Clinical with not many opportunities. That's what it is. You know, I mean, what I was going to say there is that Mahrez is looking as though he's going to shoot with his left foot, and Pickford thinks that's what's going to happen. And actually, Mahrez takes a step forward as though he's going to do it, but then Gundogan does it. So it's that you see it quite a lot. Actually, is that Pickford has made a movement, not very much, but he's made a movement, whether it be a step to his left or just a body sort of movement to his left-hand side. It's that when Gundogan has then chipped it over, that he's then had to get back. And then if you watch Pickford's hand, how far away it is from the ball as it crosses the line, without that movement to the left, Pickford would have got it.
Yeah, that's why I said you think it's his fault a little bit.
That's why they do it. That's why they have those little movements, people standing in certain positions, just to add that bit of doubt and perhaps create that bit of movement that Pickford does to then not be able to get it when the kick is actually taken.
I think Haaland in the box as well on that side makes you think they might cross it in as well. They've just got so many things they can do. I mean, Jones, cheers, mate. Keep your comments coming. This is amazing. Jones has just said it was Foden down the left. I remember now, it's come back to me. It was. So they've got Foden down the left. They can pass it to him down the left. That's making Patterson confused there. They've got freaking Haaland in the box where Mina isn't in the wall. He's focusing on Haaland. They've just got so many things they can do. And this is what the best team in the world is capable of. And it was the Blues, I think, has just said that's what incredible players can do. Like, he's just saying that to me there. That's what they can do. They can get it up and down so quick. And it was a fantastic goal. He won't hit one better than that, will he, from that close?
No, not at all. And we had a decent, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it, but we didn't have the worst second half in the world. We did have 5 attempts on goal. We did have 5 attempts on goal, 3 of them on target, 2 off target. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the game. That's the game out the way, the 3-0. But it wasn't a bad 3-0. And we'll just talk about quickly second half, the subs we brought on. We brought on Onana because we like to cover everything on the channel. And I always love what Paul's got to say and you've got to say in the club. We brought on Onana. This was a good move, by the way, by Sean Dyche. You get some stick, but I think bringing off Holgate and bringing Connor Cody on to figure some ideas out for the next game was a fantastic move by Sean Dyche, thinking, let's try something different. We've lost this game. Still trying it, but try something different because the left-back Holgate thing clearly didn't work. And Cody come on. We played the back 3, played Patterson as the wing-back, and we tried the wing-back thing, and it worked really well. I mean, it didn't let them score anymore, and it was pretty solid. Onana come on as well. He was fantastic. I think Onana, like you said, Paul, when he come on, I don't think James Garner did anything wrong.
No.
Maybe someone mentioned it in the pre-match. Maybe put Onana on for Garner Gay because Onana, I thought he looked like a beast that was the perfect player for that game, but come on when the game had been finished, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously Calvert-Lewin went off at half-time. Holgate was really down when he came off, but it was the right thing to do because, like Dyche said, he still wanted to affect the game, and that was decent to try and do that. And then I just thought he gave Garner gain, James Garner rest, is what I was thinking.
Yeah, probably right as well. Yeah, I don't think Garner had a bad game either. So it was no. He did say it was no reason in the press behind that.
Also, as well, I mean, that second half, I mean, Tarkowski's header rattling the bar. You know, there was plenty of pressure without having lots of great opportunities, maybe half chances, and Tarks' header really. But it could have been a lot worse. And I thought we played decent regardless of the result. I don't think anyone was particularly too down after the game finished. And
the Brighton game got us wanting the miracle, didn't it? It got us wanting the miracle. And I was a little bit gutted because I just felt like I wanted Man City to not play the best team, and I wanted a bit more luck, and I felt like the luck was on Man City's side. So I was a bit gutted just on those things, that Man City got the luck on that Gundogan goal, because that just doesn't happen normally. It just went his way. We needed Man City to have bad luck and miss chances, easy chances, but there wasn't. Man City didn't have an off day. No. And like I say, they played a very, very strong team. We played probably the best team there other than Kevin De Bruyne, but it didn't feel like it was slacky because they had Foden on, and it was just an incredible team that we played. It was 3-0, but we was in it most of the game. So I was happy with the performance, but it was never the game that was going to decide whether we stay up or not. So there's no point in crying about it too much, if you know what I mean.
No, and the particularly the Gladys Street as well gave the players a right good send off as well afterwards. No hard feelings. Thanks for trying. Gave them a good old cheer for quite a while at the end as well, which you need, particularly going in to our last two games.
Let's just hope Dom is. I am praying to God he was fit, because he was so good as well that first half. And I'm just praying. Honestly, I really am actually generally praying that Calvert-Lewin is going to play the next games. Hopefully he will. He come off early. Dyche said he brought him off early, so it shouldn't have let anything bad happen. Really hoping he's available. We don't want that headache with the last two games. Right now, we've got the game done. It's out of the way. We had to do it. We like this channel to give you everything you need as an Everton fan. And we get all the criteria on the screen for you, and we've just done that, and loads of commenting, so it's obviously worth doing. We do it in more detail than we could. Do you know what I mean? As much detail as we could, sorry. Right now, let's have a little Everton get-together. The Bluecast starts here. Let's get to business. That game's done. It's out of the way. Forget about it. Move on. Now, I've got some stuff here for you. It's coming towards the end. Stay with us, because there's not long left on the channel, people, and this is important stuff. Now, I just thought I'd put this up, Paul. What do you think of this? You don't know what you're going to get sometimes.
This is the fixtures, isn't it? Oh, no. Oh, right. No, this is good. What's this then? Have you got a song?
Yeah, just read it out. I forgot what it says. Can't see it on my screen.
It says, working hard to get my fill. Everybody wants a thrill.
But this song, I didn't realise it links so well to everything. Paying anything to roll the dice just to get one more chance. We got two more chances. Some will win, some will lose. We lost against Man City, but we're going to get the win now. Some are born to sing the blues. We're all born to sing the blues. I didn't realise this song was so Everton. And it says, don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. That come on in my car. So what a sign. What a sign. I'm sure you're laughing in stitches now. Especially we getting Paul to read.
On the second line, I realised what the song was.
That's a good song, that is. I've been listening to it. You've got to listen to your songs to motivate you. That made me laugh. Imagine if you just imagine if you had, like, I don't know what your voice is like, but imagine if you sang that full pelt. That would have been amazing.
I'm very soprano, as you could.
Here we go. This is the Blues. Get your pen and paper out. Everyone else, get your notepads out. This is serious business now. Let's get ready. Sean Dyche, tune in, please. Sean Dyche should be coming in 5 or 10 minutes on the comments. Here we go. This is it. Now, as just seen a comment earlier on, Liverpool lost 3-0. I was scared that game. I thought Leicester would be better.
Thankfully, Liverpool won 3-0.
Oh, yes.
Leicester.
I'm getting too excited now with that song. It's got me freaking going.
Scaring people.
Some of us will sing the blues. Has got my head gone. No, but Liverpool thankfully won 3-0 thanks to Jones scoring 2 or whatever. I hate being a Liverpool fan, but I had to get behind them today. Well done for that, because we needed it so bad. like I say, I did think Leicester would be better than that, Paul. I thought they would have put up more of a fight. But luckily, it wasn't an Everton thing where Liverpool let them win. Liverpool did the job for us. So thank you, Liverpool, on that. Seriously, big thank you. Don't like to do it, but I just care about Everton staying up. And that has helped us massively because that would have put Leicester, I'll get the league table up in a minute, but it would have put them in a prime position to get away out of that bottom.
It would. I think that's a team still fighting against relegation, but against a team who have got something to try and get. So obviously, when we're playing City, and they've still got trophies to go for, then they're maybe not going to rest back too much, and the Red are still trying to catch people ahead of them. So if you're playing against teams who have still got something worth in their season, then usually it would go with form, wouldn't it? It would go with the better side. So it seems to have done that tonight.
We haven't spoke, Paul. We only speak on the channel. We save all the content for the channel, but I watch every game at the bottom now. I do because I feel like I have to just to try and be that luck for the results to go away. And I tell you something, Leeds should have beat Newcastle. We was very lucky that was a draw. Newcastle was gifted 2 goals. Leeds missed a penalty. Bamford missed a penalty. And we were so lucky for a draw that game. And the difference 3 points would have made for Leeds would have been massive.
Huge.
And then I went on to watch the Forest game after. Forest went 1-0. Both teams went 1-0 up. Forest went 1-0 up against Chelsea. And I thought, Lampard, what are you doing here? You're killing me. And then all of a sudden, Chelsea turned it on. Luckily, Sterling banged 2 in, cracking goals. And then Forest got a draw as well. But this is 2 points that we gained from both those games because I do feel that Leeds and Forest should have won. They are fighting to stay up now, and they do scare me a little bit. I mean, you told me when we did our predictions on this, Paul, that they are better than what I think they are, and they clearly are. So we're in a bit of a fight here, more of a fight than what I thought. But I do feel like that was the games for Leeds and thinking to get points. But yeah, I was nervous.
Just key moments in games, isn't it? And it can it's a lot of what if. It's like in our Leicester game. If that penalty gets scored at the end of the first half, there's a high probability we'd lose that game instead of coming away with a draw when we nearly won it. And there was a moment in the Leeds Newcastle game where they've got the penalty, Leeds, and if they score, then they're 2-0 up, I think. So, but then it changes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's just those key moments really that it's going to be so fine. It's going to be so tight because we're all fighting for it, aren't we? We're all fighting.
I was making this for the channel earlier on, and I literally messaging you, Paul, and I was saying, messaging you saying, Paul, these have got. I sent it, and I goes, I hope West Ham don't do us over here because I didn't realise West Ham are in the fixtures so much here, and I've just put in the middle here Europa League game. West Ham is on the 18th, and then they've got who is it that they've got close to it? I'm looking at the 21st. West Ham v Leeds. They're only a couple of days after that Europa League game where it's only 2-1. Do you think West Ham are going to do us over here, or do you think they'll turn up against these teams? I hope David Moyes still likes Everton because West Ham can't be giving these teams 3 points easy for me because that will do my head in.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 days later, isn't it? So it'll be a Thursday night that they're away.
And away.
At Alkmaar. And then is it Sunday then? It'll be Sunday, won't it? 1:30. Is that Leeds game. So I don't know really. There's some ways you kind of think, what's the best way for it to go for us? I think as long as West Ham don't get any injuries, that's the biggest thing for me, I think.
I've thought of a way around this because I was on this and I was figuring it out. And if West Ham do turn up here and beat Leeds and Forest lose to Arsenal and Newcastle lose to Leicester and we win that game against Wolves, we're up.
Yeah.
We can't go down.
No.
I looked at the table. I was like, because my partner says, is it definitely going to be like we can actually go down on the last game? And I goes, yeah, it's down to the last game now. And then I looked into it more, And it isn't. So if Leeds, Forest, and Leicester lose those games, which is very possible, other than like say that West Ham game, which is very possible. If they all three of them lose and we beat Wolves, we stay up before we even play that Bournemouth game. So that is a big positive we've got to get in our heads. Don't you think that, Paul?
Yeah, well, Forest, regardless, to be honest, they're 2 points above us. So they're obviously definitely in the equation, but it's about whether we can do as well as Leicester and Leeds. Leicester, who were 2 points above, and Leeds, who were 1 point above. Goal difference between us and Leeds is tight, very.
Yeah, I just got the.
They've scored more, but we've got one better goal difference at the moment. So it could end up coming down to it.
Both on the screen.
It's watching what Leicester and Leeds did. That's why tonight was such a big game, really, for us in terms of the last two. Like I say, if Leicester had managed to get a win there, it's suddenly Leeds and us who were trying to catch Leicester and Forest. But thankfully, they got hammered.
Yeah, it really does help. You put them on 33 points, it puts them away.
Yeah.
Oh, we have got a chance. I'm scared. I am so scared because we still need to do stuff. We still need to go to this next game and win. It's in our hands. We just need to mirror the results, everyone. Yeah, I completely agree, Jamie. I'd like to have you on Twitter messaging you to make you confident, but we have got this channel to keep you positive. Everything Everton's not come on. He was fuming, he said, with that game. I wanted to hear the stories. Apparently he's lost his TV. So I know he'll catch up with it. Obviously busy for reasons, but I know he'll catch up with it. But yeah, I do think we can do that, Paul. I really do. Looking at that, I didn't know that if we do generally win our next game and those three lose, hopefully West Ham turns up for that game, which I'm sure they'll want to. They ain't just going to want to play shit at the end of the season. You can't fix results or anything like that. So I'm hoping West Ham do turn up.
Yeah. I mean,
that table isn't up to date, is it not? Have I got the wrong one?
All it means is that Leicester have played the same. So Leicester
have I got the wrong table there? Have I done it too late?
It was only after that's the one before tonight. So that's all. So Leicester have played 36 games and they've conceded 3 more goals. So they're minus 18, I think. And so they're minus 18. Leeds are minus 25.
I did do it last minute, so I couldn't get it today.
We're minus 24. So it's actually quite tight in terms of goal difference as well. Lots of people are saying sort of 35 is now the staying up point. It's because no one can really say with any guarantee that there won't be some results that are unusual. You know, Spurs, you can't tell. Leeds could come out of those 2 games with 6 points. It's that unpredictable about what happens. You got West Ham who are thinking of Europe and Spurs who are thinking of God knows what. To be honest, it could be, but same again. We could get 6 points.
Yeah, I do. I think we've got it. I just don't like the scariness at the end of the season. I mean, I don't want to be doing this anymore. We've got to be better than this. I don't think we'd be in this situation. What do you think? Because I've never asked you this question. I don't think we'd be in this situation if we had Dyche from minute 1 at the start of the season.
Knowing what we had before, no, I don't think we would either. Because I
just think Dyche is more tight on the points and stuff. He scrapes it, gets more.
It's a different style of play to what we had with Frank. Frank's trying to be Chelsea, and we haven't got the players to be Chelsea or City. We can't consistently keep possession at the back, or certainly couldn't when he was manager. I tell you what, there was a few moments actually on yesterday's game where I thought, Christ, we've had about 20 passes in our own area here. I wish we would get it up the pitch. We're not that great at keeping possession against teams who press us. We do tend to lose it, certainly somewhere in our own half. So Frank was trying to do that religiously without any kind of change to system or formation to try and affect the game differently. And I think that's where Sean seems to fit in with us a little bit better. Certainly with the players that we've got now.
I think I just look at the comments there. Great, you say fantastic stuff always. I just start listening to you. I don't like being in this situation either, although I do feel better than last time. I think it is. I think we knew if we didn't get anything that Crystal Palace game, the Arsenal game would struggle with last time. So, and we've got probably a better team. Other than no Richarlison, we've got probably a better team going into these two games than last season. Just very, very scary. I think the squad is too unbalanced to be a safe team until we've... No, I do agree with that. I just think the way this season's been, I've seen West Ham now out of trouble, can't go down. They've been awful. I just think that if Dyche had us from at the start of the season, is in that short space of time that he's had the Blues, I think he would have got more out of these players. I've already seen the improvement come on leaps and bounds in this short moment in time. I think if Dyche had the preseason that Lampard had, he would have got more out of every player. He would have got his style implanted in even more. Although he's got it done very quick now, it's still working well. I just feel that he would have done a lot better than this pass out from the back that Lampard did and often gifted points to the other teams easy. I still think we've got massive problems. I'm not saying we're safe. Trust me, there's a lot to be done. As Dyche has already said, there's a lot to be done. This is a long process to sort this out. But I do feel that Dyche gets that little balance where your roots are strong. You can try and get us that mid-table and then start to make us be what we need to be and add to it. It's not easy, is it?
No, God, no. No. And the thing was, I don't know, some of the scorelines you'd sort of say, are we stronger now with what Sean's doing? I just think that we're more of a unit, really. I just think we have a better structure. There's no confusion. Everyone's got their simple jobs.
There you go.
I agree, Eugene. I do. I think
we've seen what he's done at Chelsea with even better players than us. So
he's got such a bad record, hasn't he? I mean, if you combine it all, it's so poor.
If he can't, with what he's done,
why do we do it? But,
with what he's done at Chelsea with that team, oh my God, look at our team, and he couldn't even get Chelsea team to win. Oh my days, it's just scary what we've done, and we are blinded sometimes because he's got such a nice personality and he is a nice guy. A really nice guy, and he probably does care about Everton a lot, and he was happy that he kept us up, but he just hasn't got what we needed as a manager, I do believe. But I do believe Dyche is a lot better. Did you want to read that comment out? Sorry, we're coming to the end now, people. We're on the hour mark. This is a good get-together. It's a good Bluecast get-together. Paul always makes me feel more positive. You in the comments are amazing. If you can hit that like button and subscribe, the like button just makes the stream get more likes, then more Everton people will see it. And then we'll get more Everton fans on the stream that you can talk to and talk about stuff during the stream. So just keep liking it, keep subscribing. It's growing anyway. I love the way this is going. I'm not pushing it because I hate forcing things and looking like we want attention. But I am supposed to push the channel because we want more Evertonians on it. All right, lads, he ain't even got a telly, has he? He probably watches us on telly. He smashed it up 2-0. He smashed it up 2-0. James just said he took the controller away at 2-0. Hallen, something to do with Hallen. All right, like he's either writing letters, smashing TVs up. I'd love to go to a game with everything Everton. You might as well play him left back instead of Oldgate because he looks like he's got the passion. Everton owe him a lot of money: TV, letter bills, stamps, the whole lot. Love you, everything Everton. Yeah. Did anyone watch TalkSport today? Because Jim White and Simon Jordan are chatting about everything today.
I don't listen to it for that reason, to be honest. I just think they're just gaslighters, aren't they? That's what TalkSport is about, to be honest.
They just want attention.
It's not my favourite bag. Everything Everton, hope you don't listen to it, otherwise you'll throw something at your radio.
I love the comments and stuff. Any other comments before we go? Drop your comments now. We're coming to an end. There's loads on. Fantastic. Like and subscribe. Get it done. Go on.
I think what some people like Graham was saying before is just there's clubs in the league who have been doing the right thing over the last 2 or 3 seasons. Villa seem to have done that. They got a decent structure, like Graham said. Brighton, obviously, which lots of people see as a decent model to kind of follow. We just got to get our model, one that works.
Do you know?
Not do anything.
I've said this all along, and people will grill me for it, but I don't care. By luck, I think we're run crap. But sometimes you get run crap and you just land on a few good signings that turn out to be good. And I think Branthwaite, by the way, who's worth 30, over 30 million easy. We're getting offers that already, and we brought him for $1 million. I think Branthwaite to come back under Dyche with someone like Tarkowski alongside him is a fantastic combination. I am really happy with that as centre-backs. I think Patterson, Dyche will be a good coach for him. I think we might need a new left-back to go with Mikalenko. If we're not going to bring Nkunku back, we need to decide on that. I know Nkunku's banged goals in left, right and centre. Maybe bring him back as a left winger. But we need an experience, like an Italian-style left-back that's got a bit of age on him. Do you know what I mean? That know-how that's just safe to put there. Like Trippier, like Newcastle have gone and put Trippier there. He's solid, he's safe. We need that in the left-back position to help Miko when he's not on it. And then in the centre, I think James Garner's going to get better. You've got a platform with him. You've got Onana if you keep him, or otherwise you're going to sell him for 80 million. You've got Doucouré playing better. I think we'll end up keeping Doucouré. Now we've got Iwobi on the wing. I think we need to buy another winger. I really do. Maybe even two. I don't know. Depends on some situations. I think you buy another winger and you get a centre forward that's really going to give Calvert-Lewin competition, because I'll give Newcastle an example again. I don't care. I'm talking proper football here. Newcastle have got an injury-prone striker. What's his name? The one that used to always be injured that's come back. Wilson.
Yeah.
He was always injured, but then Newcastle brought in striker options, and you don't get injured as much now, does he? That's what Everton need to do. We need to bring a big name in to be with Calvert-Lewin, I think, and then play them both together with not much pressure, and have that creates a really good team for next season. I do believe that. And what if I sign there? Probably a left back, a winger, and a striker, 3 players, and then you progress and progress and progress. The light and the platform is there. This is why I've been saying all season, we just need to stay up, because we ain't that good, but little tweaks with Dyche next season and players coming in can make us a lot better. And I also feel the financial thing will change, because we didn't spend none of the Gordon money. It might have gone to the stadium, I don't know. But we're getting new owners coming in if we stay up that will plant a little bit in as well. So there is loads of light there. There's loads of positivity. If we can stay up, things might change. I really do believe. And these new owners that are coming in will put people on the board and say bye-bye to Ken Wright and Denise, because they'll realise how crap they are. There is light. God,
Yeah,
Paul, jump in on me there. Am I wrong? Am I right?
No, there is. There absolutely is light. You know, I thought, like I said about the City game, I thought there was lots of people who had a really good game. And Patterson, I mean, he just reminds me of Coleman when Coleman started.
Yeah.
You know, full of energy, putting a good shift in, not always having the greatest defensive performance, but certainly being a part of the team and getting us up the pitch. And I think that can only improve with Patterson. I do see him as a really good lad for the future.
Oh, he loves it. Jamie has to be Jamie towards the end, and he was quite serious all the way through. Thought he'd come out. His beers must have kicked in there. Yep.
It's because everything Everton turned up.
He's a double act, isn't he? He went all shy about everything Everton. Then everything Everton comes in, he goes all tag team on us, doesn't he? Tries to take me and you down with the normal comments that he puts. Right, everyone's coming to an end. I don't want to go too long, but there's loads on. There's like 14 on already late at night. But we're loving this. We hope you're enjoying it as well. We do go out our way to put everything on this channel that we feel that you would like to see. And you comment all the way through, so we must be hitting all the right spots. Me and Paul's fantastic. He knows his football twice as good as me. And the channel's growing. It really is. The subs go up every time we look at it. And we just did this as a little fun thing, but it looks like it's going to grow. So keep helping us promote it and putting it round, because we want as many blues as we can on the comments, and we can all have a Bluecast get together, and we'll keep doing it. But yeah, I've needed this. I needed this, to be fair, and this channel does help me, because I was stressed out after that Man City game. Even though the game meant nothing, I just want to stay up and get the job done ASAP, because I just don't like. I sometimes I think, oh, what if we did go down? I don't like the thought of that happening. So I do want to just get the job done, get it out of the probability, make it. No, we can't go down. We stay up. But this time, we don't run on the pitch and celebrate staying up. We freaking push that club to be run a lot better and send us in the right direction. So we're not frigging doing this again, because Everton, you remember better stuff than me, but Everton shouldn't be celebrating staying up. We need to start pushing back up that table, get that new stadium, get run well, and try and just get a trophy or something. Do you know what I mean? That's what every club wants to do. Go that direction.
Yeah, that's key. I watched the clip of Joe Royle in end of night. Well, I think it must have been summer of '95. To be honest, obviously it's going back a long time. But after Joe had come in and we had a good run and we survived, obviously, the season before, but we won the cup in '95. We had some decent players. We sort of had a good foundation to go from, and then we got Kanchelskis in the summer of '95 to basically be fantastic attacking support. And so there was this interview with Joe Royle, and he said, we just see us going forward. And he mentioned sort of finishing in Europe, and not just Europe, as in top 3 or 4. And, season after that, looking forward to, sort of kind of a half touch at a title sort of opportunity. And you could tell just that from that position, if we were in a place where we were run by people who knew what they were doing and weren't taking advantage of their position in the club, then I believe that Joe might have actually been right, and we would have been in that situation. Now, there's no saying that we could have done that, but then wouldn't be in this situation. It's all about who's running your club, and you can tell that. It generally stems from the top, and I don't just mean the manager. I mean, it stems from the owners of the club. So we had Peter Johnson at the time, who he was like the anti-Bill of early times, because Bill fancies himself as a bit of a hero when Johnson was there, because eventually Ken Wright was part of the group that got Johnson to leave. Johnson was like a cancer. He was the reason that Joe Royle left. He wouldn't give us money for a striker. He sold Duncan Ferguson. Jeez, you know what I mean? And when Johnson went, and this was after we'd stayed up on the last day against Coventry, neither that Europe or title aspirations, that was all gone because Johnson was just squeezing the club completely. And basically what happened was he went, Ken Wright came in, David Moyes arrived. And so then things were starting to look a little bit more sprightly again. But then what we've had, and however your feelings are on people in the board and everything, we feel as though we've been squeezed. We've had these opportunities, we've had these really good players, and they've got us to certain positions, but we've never been good enough to get quite there. And what's happened recently is that we're not being squeezed as such. We've just been played with. We've just been played with without actually having a focus about where to go and what we need and everything else. And managers have changed, and players have, well, maybe not enough players have changed, but it's not been, again, we've had the chance to get better and better, and we've not been able to do that because of people who run in the club. If we can get through this again, another one of these, if we can get through this again, we've got some belief in some of the young players that we've got, and they can be a driving force going forward. And then hopefully, and this is what we're looking for now, is owners and people on the board who know what they're doing, who maybe have been part of a model like your Brightons, your Villas, or other teams who have got a decent model to actually a 5-10 year plan to bring a club up and be safe and structured and have a foundation again. And then looking forward, that's when you hopefully get good times. That's when you do have European nights again, under the lights. That's when you do get to go to Wembley again. That's when you do eventually have a trophy. And we can do it. But again, it's our time to step up, bring on the players, final 2 games, do what as good as Leeds and Leicester do over the next 2 games. And then we've done our job, and we have a summer of building, and then we can start again.
Some cracking words. I just listened to that. Everyone else was in the comments, cracking words. This is an example in my head. I always think of Leicester going down, coming back up, and winning the league. And I know it's a stupid example. I'm not saying we're going to do that, but if a team can go down, come back up, and actually win a league, then surely we can frigging nearly go down, get ourselves better, and start pushing for that 6th, 7th position again that we used to. Sounds easy, Paul.
Easy.
Paul always
Easy.
makes it sound easy. There you go. Cracking words. I mean, I'm just going to end it on that now. Nice and positive. Where do you wait? We go. Just reading that last comment now. Oh, I've got some cracking phrase. Sometimes I listen to myself back. I think, damn, so where do you want to go? He loves it, doesn't he? Right. Thanks, everyone. It is an hour and 10 minutes. We've had the Bluecast. We should call it yoga session to get us all relaxed again. Debrief.
Yeah.
We're calm. We've got 2 games left. We stay up. You're all coming on the stream. Get ready. I want all of you. I think I could have 8 on at once. Get some off. We've just got to stay up first. Get the job done. We'll have 8 on. Celebrate. As soon as it's confirmed, we're up. Straight after that game. Straight after it's confirmed that we've stayed up. I believe we can do it. We'll all jump on the stream. We'll have a little celebration that we've stayed up. We're not celebrating being in a relegation battle, but we just don't want to go down, and we'll celebrate staying up. We'll do it. We can do this.
Enjoy the weekend of football on the 20th, because obviously we'll have our pre-match anyway, but it's us away against Wolves first at 3:00, and then Forest at home against Arsenal at 5:00. So that's a decent Saturday to hopefully be celebrating a win. And then Leeds against West Ham on the Sunday, Leicester away against Newcastle on the Monday. Could all be sorted and safe by then.
Gotta be. Don't need drama. Don't need drama. My heart's not good for it. See you later, everyone. And thank you so much for coming on. Keep coming on. We love it. The Bluecast get together. Have a boss night. It is a late one, so you'll be going to bed now, but have a